Hello everyone. Well, gorgeous to see all your faces, and I'm really excited about tonight. It's really nice to be able to have been in touch with some really special people in our community. I think everyone's special, but tonight we've got some people who are going to class as Isothrivers. And I absolutely know that there's a lot more than the people I've got speaking. So I'm really grateful to these people, but let's just do a little introduction to our topic first. So we're blessed to actually have 4 speakers, and Justin was at the gym. Justin Ball's coming on, but he will be here very soon. He's the second speaker. And sadly, at the last minute, lovely little Jessica Turton's had to pull out for a family issue, but we all know in our community that family's first, so that's okay. We'll have her another time. So they're going to inspire us. But what I want to do first is we don't do neg. So I absolutely know that when you hear some of the inspiration from these people, you're going to have some thoughts going through your mind. Things like, oh, I can't do that. Oh, it's easy for him or her. They haven't got kids. Or, oh, they're lucky. They've got a supportive partner. Or, oh, they've got more time than me. Could even say something like, I've got a better, you might even say in your thoughts, oh, they've got a better upline or better, community or little mini community or whatever. We're not going to do that because these people, I've actually selected them because they're just wonderful, everyday, beautiful teamies. And I've just seen it over the last couple of months. They're just, some of them were shining already. And now that they're just amazing, they absolutely are. So tonight's lovelies who are going to speak is Janine Dilts-Bayman, Justin Ball, Kelly Ray, and a different one here, Jessie Lee, is going to be speaking for someone in her team, Jamie, who couldn't be here, up-and-coming superstar. And I'm really looking forward to that as well. So first off, for those of us who are going to speak tonight, when the lockdown started, did we all panic? And first of all, did we actually realise, breathe a sigh of relief? Oh, phew, it's okay. I'll have even more time to work on my Juice Plus business. What a gift it is. It's time. Or did you panic? Okay, an awful lot of people thrived. They didn't panic because it is, if we really, really have a look, and I think lockdown has really given a lot of people a lot more confidence in being online and doing lives and all that sort of thing, all the things you need to do when you can't go to see someone face to face. So I think it's actually sort of been good for us. What do they say? Instead of coming out back to normal, we're coming back to better. So let's hope you didn't do all that panic and everything. But, either way, don't beat yourself up. It is what it is. And today is a new day. And hopefully when you hear these people tonight, because they're going to, I've actually given them a few things to ponder and things that I'd like them to share. And then I'm hoping at the end that you'll be inspired. No, I'm not hoping. I know at the end that you'll be inspired because a lot of the things that these people did to thrive, to be Isothrivers, obviously success leaves clues. We need to listen to that. But I'm sure they're going to keep it up. So some of the things that I asked them to ponder, and first of all, because we're getting to be such a large community, which wondering where everyone is tonight, a lot of us don't really know each other. A lot of us are sidelined, and myself included. So I thought it'd be really nice if we hear from the people, not necessarily their story, but the first thing I want them to explain to you when they come on is their situation. So you can either relate or maybe not relate, but understand. Okay, so they'll be telling us whether they're by themselves, with a partner, with a regular day job, with children, so we understand their situation. Then the next thing I wanted them to look at was what daily disciplines do they think that contributed to their ISO thriving, gaining new customers, business partners. For example, did they do events? Did they participate in events? Did they actually invite prospects to events? Did they do correct customer care? Did they also make sure they did their own personal care, self-care? and also continue with personal development. Because some of us had a lot of time on our hands. And then also, I think this will be a real thing that we need to listen for. I've asked them what excuses came up that they actually challenged and they won against. Because we all have challenges. Who's got challenges in life? We all have, whether they're little or big. It's how we deal with them. And we might not actually beat them, but we can certainly work on them. So they'll be sharing that with us. And then afterwards, we're just going to ask them, because they found that success and thrived, and I know they're all still going, what tasks, mindset, demo, things they did, will they continue to do? So the first person I know should be glad to have all this done is the lovely Janine Diltz-Bayman. So I'm going to bring Janine on, and I'm going to ask her to do this, and if they need any help and reminder with the questions, I'll soon help them, but I'm pretty sure they're going to fly. Over to you, Janine.
Okay, thank you so much, Hilary. Hey, everybody. So I've met most of you. For those who I haven't, my name is Janine Diltz-Bayman. I'm a mum of two. I'm a wife, and I live down in the southwest of regional WA, in between Bridgetown and Manjimup. So we made the move down here about 8 months ago now. I live on a farm now, and we have close to 100 animals, which is very different than where I was 8 months ago in suburbia Doubleview, but absolutely loving it. So I'm a multi-passionate entrepreneur. I love my Juice Plus business, and it has absolutely thrived over the past few months. So I'm really excited to be on talking to you all. So in terms of daily actions, I mean, I think I was one of those where life just sort of continued to evolve. When ISO started, I was so grateful to have my online businesses and to have my Juice Plus business. It was such a sigh of relief. And I did find that I was able to dedicate more time to this business as well. And, you know, at the start of the year, I set myself a task of 5 workshops per month. So every month, 5 workshops, rain, hail, or shine, it was going to happen. And I'm so grateful that I did that, because during isolation, moving everything online, I was just able to keep those workshops ticking. And for our team, we've just been able to continue to bring people through. And I've also been able to say yes to opportunities that have passed my way through our entire Life Movement team. So I think that's a really big point, guys, is that, you know, when an opportunity comes, jump on it, you know, say yes, get on the calls, do the work, do the retreats. You know, when you show up, people will see you showing up and be drawn to your energy. And I think that's really, really important. How you show up online and how you show up in this space is how you will magnetize more people to you. Cool. So, you know, that's something that I've continued to do in here, but then also in my online presence. Sharing my lifestyle. So social media has never been more important than it has been in the last 6 to 8 weeks. You know, people are online, they've got more time to be online, they're just scrolling. So the more frequency you're posting and the more positive your energy is, like, we don't want to hear anybody, you know, bitching and moaning about how things are in the background. If you want to be magnetizing people to you, you want to be sharing that positive light and sharing that energy and sharing the lifestyle that you're living. And that's been something that certainly worked for me really, really well. And it's not all salesy stuff, right? It's about, you know, this is how my family eats. Like, this is how the product fits in. I've started doing a lot more Facebook Lives. So, and just sharing, you know, for example, the raw ball recipes, if we're doing raw ball recipes, sharing the way that I'm making my salads, sharing the way that I make my smoothies. So, you know, there's that saying of, you don't always want to invite people into the back room of your shop. You want to be able to have people on the front, and social media is the front of your shop. So let people see you there doing what you do, right? You don't always have to say, come through the door and come in and see me. You can actually meet them on the street front and have them showcase what you're doing in your day to day. And I suppose then the big part from that is following up. And this is something we've talked about a lot as a team, the fortunes and the follow-up. But I think that's never been more true, because the more traction that you start to have on your posts, the more follow-up that needs to happen. So if you've got that extra time to actually be following up with people. Now, in terms of excuses, yeah, I like 2 kids home. My daughter, she's still awake in the living room right now. I pretty much just had to close the door, locked it behind me and said, I'm sorry, honey, and this is what I'm doing tonight. So she'll still be there when I get up and go back. But certainly, you know, at the beginning, like isolation, like it just hit us, right? Nobody was really prepared for it at the get-go. And my husband was still working. So, you know, trying to juggle life online was hard. But the kids, I think, also understand we have our big family goals, and the kids know that that's what we are working towards as a family. That's why mommy's in here doing these calls, and that's really important for us. In terms of the tasks and the mindset to continue, 100% the social media. Don't stop on that. And if you're sitting there thinking, I don't have anything to share, I don't have anything, you know, positive to say, just start sharing quotes. You know, inspirational quotes can be a great place to start. You know, but then just sharing little bits and pieces of your lifestyle and, you know, food that you're making or whatever. And stories, Instagram stories, guys, have been massive for my business. And, but, you know, again, really important not to just post it there, follow up with people. Like if you've got people, you know, following you and saying, yes, I want the recipe, or, oh, that looks so good. Get in touch with them through Messenger and ask them, you know, what it is that they really liked about it. You know, what is it that, you know, did you inspire them with that dish? Do they make a lot of salads at home? Just, you know, start that conversation through the fact that, you know, that they've been watching you. And the mindset stuff, it's always a mindset game. For me, my daily meditation is a mainstay in my life. You know, my vision board, always having that in front of me, knowing exactly where I want to go and how I'm going to get there. And then just knowing my signposts all the way along. So keep your eye on the prize. Don't get bogged down in the day-to-day and that feeling of frustration, because we're going to get there. It's just a matter of, you know, like I've been in this business for, I almost don't want to say, but I've been in this business for 6 years now, right? I'm still here, guys. I'm still here. I'm still kicking on. And, you know, things are just getting better all the time. So just, you know, I think that saying of stay close to the fire and yeah, keep engaged with our community, because we are really lucky. No matter, you know, where you're from or where in the world you're from or what you do, we are really lucky to have this community here in front of us.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Wow, I couldn't have asked for more. Thank you so much. That was just wonderful. And I heard there, I heard shades of Ange Simpson's call. Share your life. Share your life.
yeah,
Really did.
absolutely.
Oh, that is beautiful. Thank you. I hope everyone got something out of that, or lots of things out of that. I'm sure you did. And, you know, follow up, I think that's one of the biggest things that a lot of us don't do. Then you follow up and follow up and follow up until you get a no, or until you feel you're harassing someone. But you're not, particularly the way Janine was just saying there, that, you know, she's just sharing and that's not harassing people. That's sharing. It's being generous. She's trying to help. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Okay. Now, where am I? I'm now trying to get back to where I was. Okay. So next, oh, he's probably still puffing from getting there. Justin, thank you so much for joining us, lovey. Sorry you were so rushed tonight for this, but really appreciate it. So you may have missed the beginning, but I was basically telling everyone exactly what questions I've asked you all to have a think about. And I don't think that I'll say any more, because Justin's always got amazing things to share. So over to you, Justin.
Thanks, Hill. I hope everyone can hear me okay. If you can't, just let me know. Yes, I have just rushed back from my my fitness studio, and Monday night, first and foremost, is I don't miss it. So it doesn't matter how rushed I am. My Monday night is my Monday night. I'm always on this call. So for those that don't know me, my name's Justin Borg. I am a multiple business owner. I run my own fitness facility. I am a father of 2, and I have a lovely wife. And when this all went down, well, let's say 7 or 8 weeks ago, I just wanted to picture my wife is a travel agent, so not great. And I own a fitness facility, and I was told by the government that I had to close my doors. And so our I suppose you could say world was turned upside down a little bit. There was initial fear, initial how are we going to do this? We went through a lot of stages. But the one thing that I will say through this whole thing is I just had to remain positive. And the thing that I kept coming back to was this was not of my making. I'll be honest, in the background, when I had to close my doors, I felt like I'd failed people. But I had to look at this as this is not of my making. This is not a result of the effort that I have made. So in the first couple of weeks, everything became about consolidation. I started to think about my core values. I started to think about the things that people needed. And I always came back to the same 4 things. And that was movement, nutrition, mindset, and connection. And I was like, okay, how are people going to be missing out on this? And how can I deliver this to the greater community? So obviously I went through massive steps with my traditional business. We transitioned our entire business online in 24 hours. We loaned out all our equipment to our members so that they could keep training. And I know this is not specific Juice Plus, but this was just me thinking about how can I deliver on my promises? Because at the end of the day, that also enabled people to continue to pay as such, which was obviously important. I don't know if anyone is familiar with one of the universal laws is called Parkinson's law. And this law basically is a job will take the amount of time that you allocate to that job. So for example, if I said that I was going to do the gardening and it was going to take 4 hours, it would take 4 hours. But if I said the gardening is going to take 1 hour to do exactly the same job, I would work harder to get it done in 1 hour. So I came back to a couple of things in regards to that. And that's how my last 7 weeks has been just Parkinson's law in full swing. I set myself a goal that by the end of the year, I would have run, by the end of 2021, I would have run a retreat. That was one of my big goals, was to run a retreat, a physical retreat. And the opportunity that was presented over the last 7 weeks was, well, people need community, people need connection. Maybe I can organize a virtual retreat. And I did, and we ran 2 of them, and they were hugely successful. Over 500 people attended. And so I ran 2 retreats in 7 weeks, and I'd originally said I wasn't going to run one until the end of next year. So you can see where Parkinson's law started to kick in. I'm a Scorpio, so I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. And I had to really push that aside. I learned that perfectionism is actually just a fancy word for procrastination. I had to push that aside. I had to build it as time went on. I transitioned our business online in 24 hours. I'd been thinking about doing this for over 6 months. And when this situation presented, I was like, you have to do it and you have to do it now. So I transitioned business online. I started to reach out to more and more people. That servant heart that Hillary mentions, I just started reaching out to people. How are you going? How are you feeling? You know, et cetera, et cetera. I wasn't concerned about a sale. I was just concerned about keeping connection and how they were really feeling. So that was a big thing for me. And did it translate to some Juice Plus business over the last 7 weeks? Yeah, it has a little bit. But I know what it's done is it's sowed so many seeds for the future. And I always tried to keep that horizon mentality was, okay, this is going to happen. It's going to be for a certain amount of time, but there's a consolidation period. And then there was how can I grow? So my big takeaways from the last 7 weeks were, stop being such a perfectionist. You are a lot more efficient than what you claim to be or think you are. There's just too many distractions. And when the pressure is, I learned I need deadlines, okay? A diamond is only made when it's under pressure. Otherwise, it's just a lump of coal. And this was my time to shine. So that pressure was on, and I delivered in spades for my community, for my Juice Plus clients, more so for my family, because this was where I had to really step up and be the man of the house, so to speak, put the pants back on. Normally my wife wears the pants, but I needed to really step up and do that. So that was probably my key tips. The one thing I did get back into, and I still continue today, is I got back into my 5-minute journal. So this is an opportunity for me. The first thing I do when I wake up is I write down 3 things I'm grateful for. I write down an I am statement, and I write down 3 things that I want to achieve in the day. And then at the end of the day, I go back and I look at what were 3 great things that happened during the day, and then how could the day have been better. So that is literally what I did for 7 weeks. And we're back in our facility now. I've had 95% of my members come back. Over the 7 weeks, I've probably had about 8 new Juice Plus clients, and I've had 5 new franchisees. So did I thrive during ISO? I'm not sure. But what I did is something that I can take from the last 7 weeks. We transitioned our business online, and that is now going to transfer, and it's another form that I can use moving forward. So that was my 7 weeks. And that, yeah, I don't know much more I can say, Hillary.
Wow. I think you said real good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
A little personal thing, the little journal you do in the morning. What was it? It was, I just read that, 3 things.
It's called the 5-minute journal. It's actually a book that you buy and I write in. 3 things I'm grateful for, an I am statement, 3 things I want to achieve during the day. That's all I do in the morning. And then in the afternoon, it's three great things that happened during the day. And then how could the day have been better?
Well, I just learned something tonight, something that I really feel I will enjoy doing. So thank you for that, apart from all the other pearls of wisdom you had. Thanks so much, lovey. So let's go back and see what we're going to do now. So nice to see you so neat and nice, and your hair beautiful, Justin, because you're going to be followed by, what can we call our beautiful Kelly? Where is she? I can't even find her. Where's that big hair gone? Oh, we've gone on to
I put the video, I thought I'd be kind of.
Oh, you just want to be like Justin, lovey. All right, now this is our beautiful Kelly Ray. I'm going to hand over to her because she can tell you everything you need to know and hear and be inspired. And I know, like the other 2, Kelly will really inspire you. Let me just pin you. Oops, trying to pin the wrong person. There we go. Off you go, Kelly. Thank you.
Thanks, Hillary. First of all, Janine and Justin, I've just seen you guys grow, and I think that's been brilliant, the stories you shared tonight. If you don't know, my name's Kelly Ray. I have a beautiful girlfriend of 5 years. I'm a mum of a 13-year-old pug called Rexy. And I have to admit, it's been a massive journey for me since August last year. So I did my ACL trying to get back into fitness, playing hockey. And I have to admit that about 2 months ago, I actually resigned from a job that was so negative and had a massive impact on me personally and physically and mentally. And when the coronavirus hit, I said, you know what have I got to lose now? Here's my opportunity to actually go with the goals that I wanted to. So I resigned from the job, and for me personally, I've had my own bowls coaching business for nearly 7 years now. And since joining the Juice Plus business over a year ago, I had a vision to help bowlers on and off the green. And I really didn't know where to go with it. But when the coronavirus hit me, it made me see that over the last few months, I have been going through an ACL recovery, which mentally was really hard, physically was really hard. And I understood how people felt to be lonely. And so when the coronavirus hit, I was like, you know what, this is my new journey. I'm going to be successful with this, and I want to go with my vision. So from that, a bit like Justin, the bowling green shut down. So all my one-on-one clients, all my group clients, I was actually this month meant to be on the Gold Coast for a month with the World Bowls Championships and the biggest event, the Australian Open, worth $250,000, and I had already people lined up. And when that all closed down, I was like, what am I going to do in my business? Now, years ago, I said to people, I can do coaching online. Doesn't matter. I don't have to. I can help you with your bowls delivery. And people laughed at me. Since the ISO, I've had, even today, I had a 73-year-old client from Adelaide who then told me about what he wants to improve on his health, what he wants to improve on his mental side of things. I've also got now contacts in the UK and everything. So one thing ISO showed me that, you know, when you put your mind to it, you can achieve what you want. And there's so many people out there that need help and want to bridge the gap in their health as well. One thing it did teach me that I have to admit that I wasn't with my, you know, daily method of operation. I wasn't really doing it all the time. The one thing in the last few months has really shown me that when you're vulnerable and you share your story and who you are and what you want to become, people start to resonate with that. And every day, it didn't matter if it was a story or if it was a post, every day I did something. And from that, that's when I started to realize that people were connecting with me, sending me messages or opening up to me. And that's when I realized that ISO has been a beautiful thing as well as a hard thing for everyone. I've had no income since August from a full-time job, so I knew what it was to lose an income. So that's when I reached out to those people. I sent a private message, said, do a video call. I also knew in the bowls community, you know, a lot of them are over 50s. Now, they don't know what Zoom is. They don't know what a video call is. Now, yes, I spent 2 hours to teach them how to press the mute on and off button on Zoom. And they even came on and didn't realize the video and they're missing their false teeth and they smile. And they were just so happy they saw someone's face. So to me, that was so beautiful to see that I could show them that they can call their grandkids or they can call their family and friends for a community. And the big thing about the Juice Plus is community for me. The other thing I did was at Easter, there's amazing people in this community that actually did an Easter ebook. So I actually drove 40 minutes up to some clients. I had a couple of sachets. I dropped the book and the sachets at the front door. I ran back to my car and called them up. Then they came to the front door, and just the excitement to see that someone was there standing in front of them, it just was, it meant so much to them, something so simple. So there are a few things that I did. I think the excuses I have had, been home with an ACL, I just made excuses, no fitness, all that. One thing I did was I transformed my backyard into a fitness area that we did online. And I think for me, that's really helped me mentally and helped me to see that that's been one simple change I've had from the Kickstart program that's really helped me through isolation. The other thing is that if you ask anyone, I did my first event December at a bowling club because I was so scared, I won't swear, because it was going so out of my comfort zone. But the best thing that's happened in ISO is that I've had Tamara, I've had other people in this community say, Kel, we want to hear your story. And they've actually made me believe that my story can impact people. And now to share the business and the Kickstart program is just so simple and so powerful for so many people. I've actually just realized this in isolation. The other thing that I guess I had an epiphany the other week that I haven't been able to run. And the other night, like literally, I just like, you know what? I'm going to run. And I ran with this lady who was up front and was struggling with her health. And I actually ran with her. Okay, it was a jog, but it was a slow jog. But I actually started to talk to her about her health. And she told me about what she'd been through and started conversations. And just to me, you can help people. It doesn't matter where you are. And I know I would talk a lot, so I will wind it up. But the one thing that I'm really excited about is that I'm on a mission now, and I have this beautiful new partner that's just joined recently who's on the same mission me to bring bowls and wellness to this community. And it's something that I've been wanting to do, and I am really excited because I think when you be rare, you be real, and you can just show people who you are, just get past the fear, because when you get past that fear, you don't know what journey is ahead of you. There you go.
Wow. Wow. Can these people deliver? This is just beautiful. Kelly, while I was listening to you then, I just had a bit of an aha moment. It's really for everyone that by you sharing your life, and you really have lately, I follow you, I think it's wonderful. You're actually finding your tribe, which you already had your bowls tribe, but you're really finding your tribe, which is the key to social media, definitely, but also to your Juice Plus business. Well done. Thank you so much for sharing. We may have some time at the end for some questions, but not sure yet. So let's quickly go to the beautiful Jessie Lee. I've got to find her. Gosh, no wonder I always think Tamara has trouble with this. Oh, there she is. Gorgeous. Okay, so this is a really different one. Jessie Lee has kindly offered to stand in for her beautiful teamie Jamie, who's got the most amazing story. Jamie couldn't be with us, but we'll make sure she gets a recording because this is all about her and it's her time to shine. But Jessie Lee, you can have a little shine too.
Oh, hello, Hilary. Thank you so much for everyone for allowing me to speak tonight. I'm a little bit nervous. I get nervous. I can speak on my page, no problem. But when I jump on here, I literally freak out. I don't know why. Anyway, hello, everybody. My name is Jessie Lee Brown, and I have been a part of the Juice Plus company business for the last 2.5, nearly 3 years. And it was about 2 years ago that I sat there and I thought, what is it that I really love to do? And what I always love to do is I love creating confidence in people. A little bit about my story. As a little girl, I had a lazy eye. I was a little bit overweight. My siblings were like, okay, they were like, I said to my mum, you practiced with me and my sister, and you did really well with the other two. They're bloody models, anyway, long story cut short, was called the BBBB, and that was from my beautiful mum, who used to call me her blue-eyed, blonde-haired, buxom beauty. She used the word buxom. Anyway, long story cut short, I was laying there one night and I thought, I love my business, I love what I do, but how am I going to deliver to a wider community? What is it that I can offer? And I laid there one night and it just came to me, and it was be bold, be brave, be beautiful, be you. And it was like an epiphany. It came to me and I thought, Jessie, this is what you need to do. So I created a beautiful page, and I had a lot going on through court. I found myself at the age of 27, a young widow and in a really dark place. So I created my own little beautiful page called the Be You Soul Sisters. And in this time, I became really good friends with a beautiful girl called Jamie Lee. So Jamie Lee and me became friends on an invisible illness page. Before I started my Juice Plus, I was very unwell. I had endometriosis, IBS, all the rest. I know we can't say that Juice Plus is the fix of all, but it's just a piece of the puzzle. So I wanted to show these women and these people that Juice Plus was just a piece of the puzzle to living a happy, healthy life. Living in grief was very hard. So I just made every day, I just did simple rituals. I got them to ground themselves for 5 minutes a day. We did 5 minutes of meditation. And like Justin said, we did a 5-minute journal. So what we put in there is what we loved about ourselves, what we could better about ourselves, and what we could do to be better in the community. So we love giving back, and that's what the Be You Soul Sisters is about. So basically, I'm like Kelly, I will keep talking and talking for hours. So Hilary has prompted me some questions, and beautiful Jamie Lee wasn't able to jump on today. So the Be You Soul Sisters are about creating confidence in people through spirituality and nutrition. And I'm just going to literally read out what Jamie Lee wrote, because she is an angel and she's so good at her words. And then if you guys have any questions at the end, just please don't hesitate to ask me, or you can even PM me if you want to know anything about what we do. Big thing about what we do is customer service, guys. I've worked in customer service for 15 years, and I know that if you give to people, they will give back. And all you need to do is show them love and light. And at this COVID moment, this is what we needed. These women needed love and light. So we were the light workers in this dark time. So, like I said, I'll stop talking and I'll read this. Okay, so Jamie Lee is a beautiful single stay-at-home mum with 2 kids. I'm chronically ill, so I'm unable to work a physical job. So I was so thankful to have come across this opportunity, the product, and the business. Juice Plus is something I thought about for many years, but for me, it never felt like it was just the right time, until I met Jessie, and I knew hands down she was going to be a great mentor and really help me on my journey of improved health and succeed in my business. I started building a community on my own page and I prompted the products and the benefits they had. Once I got people interacting and their interest, I would contact them. If people weren't ready to order, I would follow up with them at a later date. I always showed love and compassion, like Jessie told me to, for each and every customer or potential customer and their situation. I was never pushy and I always offered support where I could. I posted consistently, and I think this is one of the things that really helped me to succeed. Even if I was busy, I never made excuses. I would always find time to keep my page active with fun, inspiring quotes, recipe cards, and so much more, which the wider community has given us. I find the Zooms and training provided very motivational. I don't always get time to jump on them because of the time difference, but this is going to be something I'm going to work on because as my business grows, I know that it will help me further my career. In 30 days, Jamie Lee earned herself $1,000. Me and her worked so closely together every day. It was 970, whatever it was, but she earned a beautiful income. We have now become bestest friends and we talk together every day. And I'm so honored to have her on this journey. And one thing that we have said as the BU Soul Sisters is always about being a product of the product. That's one thing I was lacking 2 years ago when I started this business. I was having the product, but I wasn't actually being the product. Now we are being the product and we are being the mission. So I'm so thankful for this beautiful community. I'm so thankful for my beautiful girls. And remember, be bold, be brave, be beautiful, be you, and live your best life and make your mark. Thank you.
Oh, that's lovely, Jessie Lee. Thank you. I'm sure everyone always loves listening to you. And I really do hope that we will see more of Jamie Lee in the future because she sounds as though she's really started her journey and she's barely going.
She's amazing. She's done excellent. Thank you.
Yeah. Asia, thank you. Thank you so much. So really tonight, guys, we were talking about Isothrivers. So you've heard lots of things that people did. Maybe without beating ourselves up, we all need to think, well, what did they do that I could have done? I can do. Because why would you taste all that success and not continue it? So we've got 2 minutes. Has anyone got a burning question they'd like to ask any of our speakers? No, let me just see what I've written down here. I did notice through all the speakers how it's really encouraged and forced them to really to grow and just accept online. I've learned a lot tonight. I need to do more online. It's not a fear. It's just something that, you know, that the old thoughts in my head, oh, it's for the youngies. And it is so not, so not. So look, I think that was just beautiful, all that sharing. So we decided, didn't we, as a nation, I believe it was, that we're not going back to normal. We're going back to better. So I think if we grab all those things that everyone shared tonight, we can be bigger, better, and bolder, as Jessie Lee would say. So I think that's all for tonight. Thank you so, so much. First of all, thank you to the beautiful, beautiful people who shared. You'll always be known now as our Isothrivers, and maybe in 5 years' time, people think, what? They won't understand. But you're all stars in our mind. So thank you very much.